Hey kids, this is day 4 of 31 days of Halloween 2022 and going to the third in the series of Hotel Transylvania films. Now, I looked up in Rotten Tomato these last three movies, Hotel Transylvania movies. First two movies, critics didn't quite get on board, but the audiences seemed to like it, even though the audience was wrong. The first one's not better than the second one. The funny thing is, this third one, the critics barely accepted it. They got tomato. They earned the tomato on this one with the critics, but the audience just did not like it. And I'm with them, the audience. This is like the for me, since I like the second one so much, this is like the Spider-Man 3 of the series. Except for one thing, I think there was quite a few things to like about Spider-Man 3. Plus, it ended a storyline. It does have closure with a storyline. This one, so the first one established characters. The second one follows through on things that are happening in the first one, and has an inspired concepts and themes going through it. This one is just an episode. They got the established characters. Now let's. It's a pretty good idea to go back and bring in, for instance, the arch enemy of Dracula is Van Helsing, and he's brought, and there's a flashback of many years ago. I'm not really sure how long, maybe 100 years ago or something. And we're introduced to Van Helsing, and he's still around in modern times, but they never really bring it up. But he's kind of a monster himself because he's connected to a machine. His head and arms are connected to a machine, and his fingernails make it look like he's, claw-like fingernails. But they never really mention that. What we have here is essentially Dracula's stressed out. His boy or his grandchild, Dennis, has a new pet, which is like an elephant-sized puppy, who's there mostly to, gross me out with buckets of drool. What else grosses me out that I didn't want, never wanted to see was Grandpa Vlad without a shirt. They eventually go on a cruise. But Mavis, his daughter, I guess thinks he's stressed out. He's also lonely, and he's thinking about trying to date again. So Mavis arranges this cruise for monsters. It starts at the Bermuda Triangle and goes to Atlantis. Um, and Dracula ends up just love at first sight with the captain, who is, what is her name again? Erica Van Helsing. He doesn't know that at first. It's hard to say, because it goes back and forth. Eventually, there's a scheme with her grandfather or great grandfather, the Van Helsing from the beginning of the movie, to kill Dracula, but there are points where she is starting to be charmed by him. That's pretty much it. It's you kind of can write it yourself. What's going to happen and everything. And truthfully, things that I like, I'm going to touch upon that. There's a running joke. Wayne and his family. He's the Wolf Man. Steve Buscemi voices him. There's a running joke throughout these movies that he's essentially like a dog, going to fetch and all that type of stuff. And we have the wonderful, I wouldn't say there's scenes throughout that lead up to something, but he and his wife are away from the kids, and it almost seems like they increase how many cubs that this couple has, but he and his wife are away from the kids and having a good time, and those are great scenes. They're really quick, but they're very charming. I also like let's see, Chris Parnell voices Stan. He's kind of like the cruise director. His deliveries, it's very funny. Just plus the way that the whole staff on the cruise ship are fish, and the visual of those fish is funny. It really is funny. I'm very amused every time they pop on screen. But overall, this is not really very good. It's actually longer than the other two films. It did still zoom along, so it has that going for it. Yes, I think kids would like it. It's tolerable for adults. I don't have children myself, so thankfully I don't really have to see this again. It's not horrible. It's just, it's just the worst of the three so far. I got the fourth one I'm going to do tomorrow. Well, until next time, stay safe, and always have a good time. See you tomorrow. Bye now.